Hello everybody, how are you today? Hope everybody's doing well. We're out in the bee yard today. Any of you that are unfamiliar, this is Minnesota, central Minnesota. Our 8th year keeping bees. And from some of the questions I've been getting, one of the main questions, a lot of them, but is what kind of material we put in our bee smoker for the purpose of smoking bees. And actually, it's anything that you can get to smoke, pretty much. Wood. And yeah, I would use anything, natural. Don't use anything synthetic, but from grass clippings to leaves to sticks to woven material sometimes, like gunny sack material. Probably some canvas, hemp rope that's not treated with oil, anything that's going to be friendly but still smoke. So our object today, if you haven't watched any of the other videos, under this top here is a pail feeder with syrup in it, homemade sugar syrup, that we've been supplementing the natural nectar coming in and the honey that I had left in the hives, or the hive body there. What we're doing today is we're going to be removing the supplemental sugar water and potentially adding another brood chamber for the bees to then fill up with eggs and brood and all that. There's another living chamber for them. It's early in the season yet, and we don't want to overwhelm them with extra space, so we're going to see if the larva that they first started putting in this hive is hatched yet. If they have started hatching, then I think it's a good time to put this next box on. Plus, we'll count how many frames they have filled with different things. 7 or 8 is usually right around where we try and do it. They should be pretty full and need some space. So we've got some rain potentially coming up here tomorrow. And if they don't have something to do, so now the rain coming, if it's all day, they won't be getting out so much. So they'll try and find something to do in the hive. And if there ain't nothing to do, they start to do goofy crap. So, like try and swarm. We are going to, first we're going to give these guys a little shot of this here underneath here, because there's an opening underneath this pail that goes right to the hive. So to smoke, I use any of the natural sticks around here, which you can see there's plenty of, dead ones. But theory on the smoke, one of the theories I can think of offhand is that it tells the bees that there's a fire in the area and they need to gather up their honey and any resources they can take with them, just in case a fire gets too close, they can fly off and find a new place to reside. Offhand, I can't think of another one, but there are a couple of different options, or a couple of different theories. That one sounds about the best to me, I guess. And then so what it does is calm them down a little bit, potentially. But my thoughts are, and I'm sure they're not only my thoughts, but it calms them down because now they're focusing on the health of the hive and the safety of the hive and getting those resources out of there with the queen. So them becoming aggressive then wouldn't benefit the hive, because then they would piss off whoever they're being aggressive against and potentially reap repercussions against them. All right. So, oh yeah, they've been busy, and probably they did have a couple of days with some crappy weather, so they built a bunch of bird comb in here, which is fine. It means they're good comb building bees. Just means I have to clean up a little in here. It's kind of like a playground for them. Here's our hive tool. Any movements around here you want to do are slow. When you're cracking these open, you don't want them to pop real hard because they glue this stuff back together. So that's yellow comb in there. It serves a bunch of purposes. Couple of which are like they make little ladders so they can get around in the hive easier. 2, that's extra storage. 3, they look like a little jungle gym and a maze there. You know, I don't know. Just looks like a little playground maybe. We didn't have nothing else to do. Now I'm going to push him down into the hive with this smoke, and I'm going to clean up all this burr comb. And since we're not taking, we're taking the syrup with us, I'm going to be able to use our bucket here, our insulation bucket, to put our beeswax in, because we all know that's valuable as a beekeeper and to craft makers and stuff. Possibly like the cosmetic industry, food industry, I'm sure. All different kinds of stuff. And to any new beekeepers, any of this fur comb here, the remnants that you see, there's like a pattern left on the wood here. You want to remove that also, otherwise, I mean, chances are they're still going to just start right back up doing it again, but there's less likely of a chance if you've cleaned up all the remnants of what was last done there. All right, now we're going to take a look at some frames that are full of brood. First of all, I'm moving all the frames, pushing all the frames away from me. So I'm opening up a little space on this end so I can get this first frame out. Yeah, that's beautiful. So here's some early honey. That's very early honey. You can see here where the darker wax is there. They've recycled that wax. And if you look down in there, hopefully you can see something shimmering back. Hey, that's the honey. This is something I made. It's pretty handy. There's different variations of it out on the market for people, but I made this one. This is for holding our frames. I don't necessarily use it a lot because I don't really need a whole lot of space in the hive to work. But you do need at least one frame worth of room to be able to pull frames out without damaging bees If you don't have a little bit of space in there, potentially you're killing your queen when you're moving stuff in and out. So I'm just going to peek in here. Looks like everybody's working well. We're going to start right here because I'm guessing there's going to be... Oh yeah, all right. This is a beautiful one. We're going to pick the camera up too for this one because I want everybody to see this in good light. Okay, the capped yellow stuff is capped brood. In a few minutes, we're going to go locate some more capped brood. Oops, shoot, I keep hitting the... Zoomed in on us here. There we go. Alright, so we're not going to have this out too long, but the white down in there is larva, and then in some of these very bottom frames here, bottom cells there, are eggs. I'm not seeing a queen. As you can see, the bright yellow down in there is pollen. Okay, the orangest bright yellow, not the stuff at the top. That's capped brood, but there's more yellow like right in there. That is all pollen. They're going to use that to feed all the critters. You can see some lighter pollen there. Alright. Set back up over there. A little peek inside a beehive. Okay, so now we're getting into the center part of the hive where the earliest eggs were laid. And I'm going to check and see if anything's hatching. If I see any sign of anything hatching, then we are going to put the next box on. Here's some more of that bird comb that I was talking about. Just like a jungle gym or whatever. They don't need that there. Actually, I'm going to cut that other stuff out too with my hive tool. So they're going to fill that whole thing up with babies. Okay, so there we go. See that empty spot right there? Right here? That's all just hatched. That's where she first started laying eggs. Well, on the next frame there's probably a smaller patch, but that's some of the first ones that hatched. So we are doing amazing right now. Yeah, on this side there's that's a small patch there. That's probably one of the ones where she started. When they start laying, or when she starts laying, she just lays a couple eggs at a time to start, and then she ramps up after that. This one's completely full on both sides. So pretty much what we've seen in cat brood there, I would say it's probably 7,000 or 8,000 bees that are going to be hatching in the next 14 days. After that, she really ramps up. 1,500 to 2,000 eggs a day. That means 21 days after she starts doing that, believe it's 21 or it's 28, whatever. 3 weeks after she starts laying at her maximum, she'll start hatching at a maximum. Now we're going to show you this too. We've got a queen cell. This is probably more like a swarm cell maybe, but either way, right here, okay, see that misshapen kind of, that's a queen cell. If I was to leave that there and they fill it with an egg, you would have a swarm, or they would supersede the queen. Right now, I don't see no reason why they should supersede their queen. And that could have been a cell left over from last year also. That's why it's important to check your hives. Oh, let's try and get this too. I don't know how well it works or will work, but we've got some green honey down in there. And I've seen this before. If you Google green honey, it'll tell you what it is, but I don't remember offhand. And it's not a lot right in there right now. In the certain light, you can see it shine back a little green, but I do have pictures. If anybody finds me and sees me and wants to see the pictures, I don't think I can get them off my phone to be able to show them, but I do have pictures of the green honey in the hive that is very distinctively green, pretty much like antifreeze. Now I'm going to flip this frame around because they don't have anything going on this side. Boom. Alright, now, everything seems to be good. This last frame is packed full of capped honey. I'm going to push everything that way and put the frame back in there. You can manipulate your frames around a little bit if it's deemed necessary for different reasons. But right now, we're looking good. It is the last day of April, I believe. Or one of the last days of April. 2025. And I got a wood tick. I just felt them fall out of the freaking tree. I would say you can use wood ticks for your smoker too. Just make sure it's going good so you get them. So not only when you're entering the hive is smoke important, but also when you're putting it back together, especially when you're full of bees now, they almost fall out of there like a volcano, you know, they just ooze out. So then you just give them some smoke, and they'll scramble to get down in the hive, and then you can put it back together. In this case, I'm adding another box to it. It's as simple as that. Now they're going to move into this box and clean it all up. I put one frame right here that has a substantial amount of honey in it. Hopefully they're going to move that around. I want to get rid of this frame. It's busted up. Not any good to me anymore except for maybe a couple of parts here and there. So we're going to see what they do. As soon as I see that they've cleaned that honey out, I'll pull that out and put another frame in. Meanwhile, we're going to clean up this comb here. And now that I know they're really good comb makers, I'll probably add some frames of empty comb, empty foundation, and they can start building a future colony, or the foundation, or the bees' comb, the honeycomb in there that they lay eggs in, kind of has a time limit on it. Each time they lay eggs in those cells, there's a membrane on the egg that stays stuck in that cell, and eventually makes that cell smaller and smaller, which when you're trying to breed bees, or grow baby bees, the smaller and smaller hole means smaller and smaller bees. So that means they can bring back less and less honey, and basically they're smaller and smaller, so they'll be more vulnerable. So every 3, 4, 5 years, you want to swap those frames out for new frame, or for this. You can recycle the frames, but we want to use new foundation, and then they will come in and build comb on there, or build a honeycomb on there, and you'll be set. That is a long process at times, depending on the time of the season, and it's also resource intensive. It takes 6 pounds of beeswax, or of honey, to make a pound of beeswax. 6 pounds of honey to make a pound of beeswax. All right, we're just going to close them up now. Where'd my lid go? I'm going to put this back together with the lid slid forward, because there is an entrance at the top here that they can use. If I wanted to close that entrance, all I would have to do is push this back. I don't want to squish any bees right now, but push it back, and then they can't use that entrance. Different reasons why you wouldn't want to use that entrance is you just put your bees in the hive, and they're extremely vulnerable. Plus, they're not, used to the hive. The pheromones of the queen haven't been built up, so they really don't know where they are, who they belong to, nothing like that. So for the first 24 hours, you keep them locked up. You lock up all their entrances. That way the pheromones build up in the hive. They get used to their queen. There's different nuances to it, but watch, as soon as I get them on, watch our other videos. All right. I think that's all I wanted to say today. Thank you, everybody, for watching these videos, and don't forget to like and subscribe. One of these days, maybe I'll stick this message on the front end of the video, but if you're 45 years or older, get a colonoscopy. Thank you. Have a great day.